The Inner Identity of All Religious Teaching by Claude Bragdon, read by Dave Marsland of Cardiff Theosophical Society. The Inner Identity of All Religious Teaching. Unity of being through the union of the creature with its creator constitutes the inner content of every religion worthy of the name. It is the theme of every truly spiritual teacher and of every singer of the sacred songs. Lao Tse said, "He who acts in accordance with the Tao becomes one with the Tao." Buddha said, "The dewdrop slips into the shining sea." Christ said, "I am in the Father, and the Father in me." But these simple and clear statements of the central and essential truth of human existence have become so overlaid and obscured by ologies and doxies of various sorts that the direct and realistic modern mind will look no longer at those stained glass windows which colour and keep out the clear light of simple, comprehensible truth. We have preferred to keep our eyes where our feet are planted, on the firm ground of science. A science which we had been taught to believe was materialistic until Einstein, Eddington and the other high priests of theoretical physics came along and assured us that the material world was only another name for that infinitesimal part of the cosmos which can be mathematically measured and therefore might more appropriately be called the metrical world, particularly as matter, in the old meaning of the word, simply does not exist. Ouspensky, in Tertium Organum, predicted that science must come to mysticism, and already the leaders of scientific thought have crossed the threshold which divides our familiar three-dimensional house of life from the unknown out of doors of the fourth dimension. They are even beginning to consider the necessity of postulating in the cosmos a cosmic mind, if only for the amazing mathematical orderliness and coherence they find there. Even so, should Ouspensky's prophecy be fulfilled, should the scientist's idea of the life force be found to coincide with the mystic's idea of God, it would make no real difference so long as the whole thing remains solely in the region of concept. For save as a stimulus to action, thought is sterile, and it is more apt to enervate the will than to energize it. The habit of theorizing prevents us from feeling reality, makes us immune to it, makes it seem no more than another thought. This is doubtless the reason why Christ and Buddha concern themselves little with cosmo-conceptions and greatly with conduct of life. They knew that truth is found only by living, not by thinking about life. The manner of living, that is to say, the conduct of life, prescribed by Christ and Buddha, is as efficacious today as when first taught by them, or rather acted by them in the drama of their lives. Those lives, so different in condition, circumstance and consummation, were alike in their renunciation of those things commonly held dear and desirable for the sake of some superior, some supreme beneficence named by Buddha Nirvana and the kingdom of heaven by Christ. Each made, in a different way, his entire life an allegory of the relinquishment of the personality to the life force. Every religion, because it is concerned with the transcending of the personal limitation, is capable of being interpreted in these two terms. In Brahmanism, they are referred to as the elemental self and the great self without selfishness, the lower self and the higher. This self is one with the Tao of Chinese mystical philosophy, which is eternally inactive and yet leaves nothing undone, that from which all spiritual beings draw their spirituality. This in turn is not different from nirvana. In Christianity, the life force is the Father in heaven, and the personality the Son. In its unregenerate state, this is the prodigal son who says, "I will arise and go to my Father." Sacrifice is the sacrifice of the personality to the life force in the interests of its own salvation. Communion is the community of consciousness between the personality and the life force, and atonement, at one-ment, their final unification one with another.